Once I get.
Can you share right now or?
Not yet.
Okay. I think you can share.
Okay, now.
Okay.
Okay, can you all see the screen properly? Let me see. 1 second. So, can you you can see the screen, right? Everything right? Okay. So, hello everyone. Thank you for your time today. So my name is Oscar. I'm the marketing manager in a company called Global With Us that is managing two actually Japanese schools. One is IC Nagoya and the other one is Genki Japanese Language School. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about IC Nagoya School. And while talking about that, I will show you a little bit what you need to actually also to spec when you come to Japan, and also what you need is you want to go to higher education after learning Japanese, and if you want to find a job in Japan. And of course, the most important thing is to learn the language first before starting working or university in Japan. So that's why we're going to focus on the Japanese language school part. So first of all, IC Nagoya started in 1983, so it's more than 35 years, and then it's actually the first school that started offering student visas in the region of Aichi in Japan. So if you haven't been to Japan yet, Aichi is actually here. So Japan has 4 islands: the Hokkaido, Honshu, Kyushu, and then Shikoku. It is here, and it's in the main island, and it's in between actually Tokyo and Osaka. And Aichi is actually is well known as the land of the samurai. So if you like Japanese samurai, where the most powerful samurai were actually from the Nagoya region. And here you can see a little bit how it looks like. You have the tradition and also the modern side of Japan in the same area. So as I was saying, yeah, it's the homeland of the samurai. This is all very used for the Aichi prefecture as promotion for the area, because the main founders of Japan reunification were actually from Nagoya. And yeah, there's a lot of history there. So if you really like the Japanese history, yeah, have a look, because you will really enjoy the area. In case of in Japan seasons, you have actually the 4 seasons like in Turkey, and then so the 2 most beautiful seasons actually in Japan are at the spring in April, when you see the cherry blossom. That is very actually, you may know from it you may have seen it in movies and anime, that it's very typical in Japan to have a picnic under the cherry blossoms. It's very beautiful, so I recommend you to experience it. And also in the autumn gets very orange and red. Japan is very, very beautiful and very unique atmosphere. So in terms of Japanese culture, as you have now in Japan well balanced between the old traditional culture and the new pop culture, and you have this contrast, because the old traditional culture of Japan is very smooth, very relaxed, very harmonious. Everything is silent and perfect, and it's very perfect movement, but it's slow. But the new culture is the opposite. It's fast and very dynamic and very effective. So it's a funny contrast. So you can see here, yeah, what was the old Nagoya and then the new Nagoya. And also, yeah, as I said, yeah, it's Japanese culture is between tradition and pop, and the pop culture is the new one, not only modern, and you also have the anime part of it. So this is actually very popular in Japan, well, the anime and manga culture. So you can actually find also both and in the H area. So how to go to Nagoya first? You can actually go by plane through the Chubu Central International Airport, that is actually only 30 minutes by train from Nagoya main station. So it's quite convenient located. And in a regular situation, now we have the pandemic, of course, there's not many regular flights, but in a regular situation, there's quite a few international flights going directly to this airport instead of going through Tokyo or Osaka airports. So in terms of our philosophy, the main point is we want people to think in a global point of view. So why you learn another conscious language, why you want to go to, you want to learn about that culture, you want to make your mind wider. So that's our philosophy is to try to teach, to help you doing that and to learn, to know about Japan the best way possible. So talking about the strength of the school. So first, the experience. We have more than 35 years of history and experience. Again, we were the first school in the Aichi prefecture to be able to offer student visas, so quality is guaranteed. And also, we are located near the Nagoya station, that is the main station, so it's only 5 minutes walk from the station, so very central location. There are a lot of extra learning of campus activities and events. There's also we offer a preparatory course for university entrance exams. That's very usual in Japan. To enter university, you need to do an entry exam, and there's a lot of job hunting support and specific life support. So going a little bit through it, this I already said, like the 35 years of history. And over those years, we had more than 2,500 graduates over 48 countries. Then the location is 5 minutes just from our station, very convenient, no more to say. So, and then the access. So Nagoya is not only connected through the international airport, but it's also connected through the Shinkansen, that is the fast bullet train in Japan. So in bullet train, you can go to Tokyo in 1 hour. And then in 1 hour, 40 minutes, you can, and then to Kyoto is just 35 minutes, and Osaka is only 52 minutes. So it's very well conveniently located. So this is actually where the school is located, in this building. The next building, you have a rooftop where you can actually take some pictures and see a little bit Nagoya from the top. And here there's a very famous Nagoya place to take pictures that is just in front of the school. So in terms of campus activities, there's a lot of seminars happening in the school. There's also field trips organized once every semester for the students. You can join some cultural activities. You can do some language exchange. So we want also, so it's not only you're going to go to learn Japanese and then do some university preparation. It's not only that, you're gonna have chances to interact with the culture. That's what, and that's one of the most important points, and to experience the Japanese life at the most extent before actually going to work or university. So this is just a little bit some examples of activities. So there can be traditional culture, pop culture oriented, cooking lessons, seminars, also even sports events or field trips. So the field trips are normally twice a year, and they are you go to main areas in the Aichi prefecture. So in case of the preparation course for universities, this is something that is aside the language course. This is something extra. This is it prepares you for so many universities. Like in these areas, like humanities or science, they need an entry exam, and you need to prepare for it. So you have two things. You have the seminars from many universities happening at the school to give you information about how to apply and what's the process for it. And then once you decide which one you want to go, there's also this course to support you prepare for the exam. So this is actually an extra course that is not compulsory, it's just optional for the students that who wants to go to university after finishing the Japanese language course. And this is to give you an example of, you will see a lot of, this is Chinese character, you will see that it's in Japanese, but just to give you an image of how the schedule looks like. It's after 5 p.m. So it will be after your classes, and this is you will have different lessons depending of how the university exam you need to overtake. And this is an example of actually the books you will use. So another strength of Nagoya is also for students who wants to find a job in Japan after finishing the language course. There is a very interesting advantage of Nagoya schools, because the Aichi prefecture has a special agreement with immigration to allow students who studied at least 1 year in that Japanese institution to actually get 1 extra year of visa for only looking for a job. So in order to take that advantage, you need to actually take a job hunting course that I will just speak about it now. And also you need to have a university background. So in case this is not for students who wants to go to university in Japan, because you need to have a university degree actually to work in Japan. So you need to have clear that you can or either study university in Japan or working for a job after that if you have already a university degree. If you don't have a university degree and you want to work in Japan, you will need to get one first before coming or learning the Japanese first in Japan, then going back to your country, do your university studies, or do university studies in Japan after the course, and after that looking for a job. This is very important because Japanese companies normally do not hire without a university degree. So this is this special employment course that you will need to take in order to get an extension of the visa for job hunting. It's not too intensive, so it's 1.5 hours for 10 times, and you learn the rules and manners for job hunting in Japan, which is specific. Japan you have many kind of manners and rules you need to follow and process systems. So it's not the same way. You don't write the same way a curriculum vitae in Europe than you will do in Japan. In Japan, you have a specific format that you need to follow, and that will help. This course will help you with that. This is a little bit what you will learn in that course. First, how to sell yourself in the Japanese way, how to write a resume, how to analyze the company you want to work with, how to write business emails, preparation for the visits, interviews, extra information, the session with IC former graduates, plenty of interview practice, and then an extra, any kind of doubts and support that you may need will be included in that course. So the last point of the stand is like how much the school would support you in Japan with a lot of counseling, so basically we want you to have as much help as possible, and the school will help you in all in everything they can. So basically, if you come and while you're studying, don't hesitate to ask anytime for help, because the school staff would be happy to help you. So now that we talked a little bit about the benefits of studying in IC Nagoya, we need to talk about the Japanese course, because you need because in the main job of IC Nagoya is actually teaching you Japanese. So, and you need to actually study to get the student visa. So the Japanese course is, we have the main Japanese comprehensive course that is minimum 1 year and maximum 2 years. And the course the curriculum is designed to balance the 4 skills of language, so reading, listening, speaking, and writing. It's in classes of maximum 20 students per class, and it's quite academic focused for you to be ready for university or job hunting. But there's also conversation practice, and we try to give you the tools necessary to actually to survive in Japan. So as I said, yeah, the Japanese course is for students who want to continue their life in Japan, or find a job, or go to university, or actually learn Japanese for their own proficiency in an academic way, even if they go back to their country and then work for a Japanese company in Turkey, for example. In terms of schedule, you have it's Monday to Friday. You have morning session, afternoon session. You cannot choose which one. You need actually you will be placed depending on your level. So this will be decided depending on your level. And each level, there are multiple levels until 9 levels, and each level is actually 3 months. So every semester you finish 1 level. Then you have like 1-2 weeks holidays, and then you start again another level. So it works like this. And then, depending on the month of entrance, you can start the length of study of Japanese only. It varies, so it's different. So, for example, if you want to study up to 2 years, you need to start in April. That's one of the main condition requirements. If you for 1 year only, you can start actually anytime. But if you want to study the full 2 years, the main course starts in April. After that, yeah, you have a career guidance, and for preparing for higher education, employment guidance, like as I mentioned before, this support is provided, so you will be guided as much as possible in your journey in Japan. So if you want to go to the higher education, you need this is normally the process. You participate in information sessions, you participate in open campuses, then prepare application documents, and then do preparation essays, interviews. So this is the regular process that you will need to undertake. For employment, it will be first information gathering, then visit companies, check job vacancies, employment websites, then preparation of your resume, any extra documents that some companies might require, and then an interview, exam, and everything that you may need to practice. So you have these 2 paths that you can undertake. For preparing for an interview in Japan, and how we support about it is first knowing what are your strengths and weaknesses, and then give you understanding of that, and then show you how to use them in the interview. Then after that, of course, you can make you attend open campus, you organize contents for possible interview questions that might be difficult to answer. And you have to also know that I don't know how the interviews are in Turkey, but in Japanese, any question is possible, and sometimes they are quite personal. So, for example, by my experience, this is something that might shock you, but in one interview, I was asked if what was more important, my job or my wife. So this is, for example, a very shocking question that we'll never have in my country, that is Spain, because it's very inappropriate. But this is something that happens in Japan. So you need to be actually ready of what they're gonna ask you, and be ready for it and give the best answer possible. And then, yeah, and as everything, practice and be sure and do mock interviews and make you ready for it. This is a little bit what in an example in 2020 where our students went after finishing their language course. So most of them, as you can see, went to vocational schools, and then half the other part, big part, to university. Then the third part is it can be they got married, they stay in Japan, or they actually went back to their country to study, to work in a Japanese company, or keep their studies. So this is to give you an idea of how the students of ITC Nagoya were doing in 2020. Actually, this is not too good year to explain, to give the best image, because it was in the beginning of the pandemic. But yeah, to give, it gives you a representation of what is happening right now. Then, if you're wondering about the scholarships, there are two possible scholarships. One is the JASO scholarship. This is very hard to take. This is only for very, I mean, you need to be the best student, and it's, even though they are limited by how many applications they get for all the schools. So they are very limited places, and it's normally 1 or 2 students per year, and it is for a period of 1 year. So if you get a scholarship, you will get this support every month. And then you have ITC Nagoya little scholarship that is normally for around 20 students per year that are excellent students, so you need to perform well to get it, and it's a maximum of 30,000 yen support for the first year of study. Then requirements to apply. So if you want to start to apply for the language course and get a student visa and come to Japan, you need to have a completion of 12 years education or equivalent. This 12 year normally is you need to be high school graduate as a minimum to be able to apply for the course. Then you need to have a minimum of 150 hours of previous Japanese study, or equivalent level of GLPT5 level. GLPT5 is the official levels in Japan. It's starting from 5 and finishing in 1. So it's the other way around. Actually, 1 is the highest level and 5 is the lowest level. But you need to have this previous Japanese study in order to be able to apply for the visa. Of course, a clear only purpose for studying Japanese, because you need to actually fill an essay where you need to write the reasons why you are coming to Japan. So this is also important that we have clear ideas what you want to do. And then a financial statement showing enough funds. This is normally 2 million yen that you need to have in as savings between you and your guarantor. So this is also the minimum you need, the minimum requirements you need to meet in order to be able to apply. And then the selection procedures. So first you get a questionnaire where there are some questions you need to answer. And after that, submitting that questionnaire, the school will evaluate the documents, and if it's okay, you will have an interview with the visa manager and maybe the head teacher. And after the interview, you will have to submit some specific documents that you will get a list for it. And once everything is done, the school will apply for the certificate of eligibility at the Nagoya immigration office. And the process takes around 3 to 5 months. And then once we get that certificate of eligibility from immigration, we will send that certificate to you, and you will need to go to the Japanese embassy and apply for a student visa at the Japanese embassy. So basically, the process is not complicated. It's a little bit long, but it's not complicated at all, and we give full support in it. Then you were wondering, where are you going? You can stay. there are not many accommodation options through the school, because most of our students actually they look for their own accommodation. But there's a student dormitory that is only 10 minutes from the school, and it has it's quite it has all the necessary facilities. It's very convenient, very good price, but it's always quickly filled. So if you really want to get a dormitory accommodation through the school, you will need to apply with time, because they always get it's very, very popular. So this is a little bit the pictures of the single room. You have single room and then double room options. So of course the double room will be cheaper than the single room, but it's still like quite very good price. Then in terms of application deadlines, this is an the application deadlines are very strict with the Nagoya immigration. But this is to give you an example for admissions for the July 2022 intake. The application deadline is by March 11th, so in actually 2 weeks. And then for admissions in October 2022 this year is until May 13th, 2022. So this is very important to note that after the deadline, it's not possible to apply. So, and as you can see, it is quite some time before the starting of the course. So you need to know that and to take that in mind, that you cannot apply last minute if you want to come under a student visa to Japan and to study 1 year or more. Here, if you want to check, we have Facebook and Instagram, so you can actually check with the QR code if you want now with your mobile phone. But yeah, so, and after that, give you 1 second. Okay, so, and here, student comments, to give you some idea of what some former students think about the school. So some more focus on the job hunting support. Some, I don't know, okay, how the dormitory was convenient, or that how our extracurricular activities, events were good, and this is actually this is a good review comment from this former student. Yeah, it's actually, I think it's very good school for students that really want to find a job in Japan, or to continue to a higher education, to go to university, because of all the support and extra preparation for it that is provided. And of course, for example, if you are more interested in only in Japanese, you might have other options. But if you're interested in learning well academically Japanese and then go to university or find a job, this is the school for you. So as I said, we have some partners, and then our sister school is Genki Japanese and Culture School, which is a completely different style school. It is actually for more conversation focused, and it's not academic oriented. So it's more for students that they only want to focus on the Japanese learning, stay 1-2 years in Japan, and then go back to their countries. It's not focused to university preparation and job hunting preparation. And then we have affiliated schools. This is Nippon Designer Academy of Fine Arts. These are design vocational school, which actually offers a wide range of courses for design arts, like video editing, graphic design, manga editing, a lot of this related activity. And it has also a deal with IC Nagoya for example, if you study 1 year with Nagoya, you can actually enter directly that vocational school without an entry exam. This is a specific course that is combining the Japanese language course plus some extra classes of the original curriculum of this school, and then you will learn during the first year what that vocational school actually offers, and you will be able to choose a specialty to enter directly and save some money. So this is a very specific course that we have that if you are interested in this graphic design, manga editing, video editing, and you want to learn about to learn about it in Japan, please contact contact Edu agency directly to get more information about it. So yeah, this is it was a little bit summarized because I don't want you to fall asleep with a lot of content, but yeah, just a little bit to give you an idea of what we offer, what you can expect. And now, yeah, I think we can actually go for any questions you may have. So 1 second. So Arthur, you will give you the controller.
Okay, just I'm getting the control right now. Okay, I think everything is done. And thank you for your presentation and your effort. I very enjoy it with this presentation. So I'm going to ask you some questions which comes from our attendees here. Yeah. Just need a second to get this question part. The first question is about housing, but we offered the housing options in this presentation. So actually the second question is about housing options too, but it's a different question. What should we do if we change schools or places of residence?
Whatever is the change of residence you mean of accommodation during the course?
Yeah.
So okay, if you choose, first if you choose to get the school dormitory, the minimum stay is 6 months. After 6 months, you can or renew or go to another place. You can actually cancel before those 6 months, but they will not be refunded. So the minimum stay is 6 months. You don't need to stay in the dormitory. You can choose your own. Actually, most of the students choose their own accommodations. That's why there are not many options offered, only the school dormitory. So that's free. The only thing that is important to know that if you want to stay in the dormitory, you need to stay at least 6 months. And then once you change the location of your accommodation, you need to notify the mayor, the ward office in Nagoya. So once you get to Japan, you get your residence card. You need to notify another address. So if you don't change that address during the 2 years, 1 year, nothing. You don't need to do anything else. But every time you change your address, you need to go to the ward office and say, I changed my address. Please change it in my residence card. That will be the process. But it's not difficult to do, or it's nothing. There's no problem, basically.
Okay, thank you. And I think the big question is about the course fees. How about these course fees? Can you give us some more information about this?
Okay, just 1 second. I have a little document for that.
Okay, I can give you the control again.
Okay, 1 second. So let's see if you can see. Can you all see my screen? Can you see the?
Yeah.
Okay. So these prices will be for the general Japanese course. So the 1 year course. Even if you can study up to 2 years, you need to first register for 1 year and then extend after that, after the first year ends, because there is an extension of visa it needs to be done. So this is the tuition for 1 year. So this will be 20 lessons per week, so 4 a day, Monday to Friday. And this is for the full year. Plus, you have a visa application fee that is 20,000 yen. This visa application fee has to be paid once the visa tramitation starts. So once the school says we can process your application and we will prepare the documentation and everything, and we do the process with immigration, this fee needs to be paid and cannot be refunded. So this fee is non-refundable unless you don't apply at the end for the visa. But if once the school applies for the visa, this fee it has to be paid. And these dollar fees, this includes actually textbooks provided for the whole year, a health test at arrival. So once you arrive to Japan and you start the first week, you need to do a health test. And that is compulsory by the government. So, and this is we do all the arrangements, so you don't need to worry about anything. There's an accidental insurance in case you have anything happen in the school area, and that you will have some support. And then 2 field trips included. So this will be the extra fee. So in total, this will be the total price for the whole year. So once you pay this, there's nothing extra. So this is the whole year, the 20 lessons per week, the 2 field trips, health test, accidental insurance, all the textbooks, materials, plus the visa application fee. So this will be the price of the course. Then we're talking about the vocational school. So this is another specific course that is called Arts and Language Special Course. This is for students that really want to study design in Japan. So this one is more expensive because it includes extra lessons from the vocational school. So how it works is the same as the 1-year course. So you have the same visa application fee, you have the same other fees, but in the tuition fee that is more expensive, you have 20 lessons in a year of the original curriculum of the vocational. So you will have how it works. You will have, for example, 1 lesson of video editing, 1 lesson of manga editation, 1 lesson of shooting, photo shooting, a lot of different subjects that so you will actually see what almost everything they offer, and then on the 2nd year you will be able to choose the specialty you like the most and then do that specialty in that vocational school. So it's more expensive, but it has a big advantage. So the big advantage is that you don't need to take their study entrance exam. So this is something that is actually, so you don't need to do any preparation or anything. Just go through the curriculum. You already go through that, so you don't need to do an exam. So you can enter directly that school on the 2nd year, and then you save 200,000 yen in the registration fee. So basically, if you go to that school without studying in Nagoya, the registration fee is actually 200,000 yen more expensive. So this difference in price is actually saves you money, because through this program you save actually more money even if you do the extra curriculum, extra classes. So it's quite good. That is quite a good deal if you really want to go to that to study this kind of arts in Japan. And third, the teachers, Nagoya teachers, will be all keep supporting you. So through the vocational school, depending on the specialty is different, but generally it's 3 years. So if you do the whole program, it will be 1 year Japanese study plus 3 years of vocational school. The vocation, and during those 3 years of vocational school, even if you are not anymore IC Nagoya student, you will be able to go to IC Nagoya school and ask for Japanese support or anything related to Japanese language that you may need during your study with them. So you can get any extra free classes or anything that any kind of solve any kind of Japanese language related issues without any extra cost. So, and in case of the requirements, is the same as the regular course. You need the GLPT5 language level. You need the same amount of savings too, and then high school. Of course, you need to have a high school diploma. Then, in case of accommodation, you have to. 1 second, I will do it a little bit smaller. So the single room and the double room. So this will be in total. This is the amount for 6 months. So because it is a minimum stay, so this is not the monthly fee. This is 6 months. What will be the cost in total is 405,000, and if you take the single room, and 285,000 if you take the double room. In case of this deposit that you see here, this is refundable. So this is it will be deducted from here at the end of the 6 months if you don't do anything bad to the dormitory. Of course, if you destroy the room, you will not get anything bad back. But if you are a good kid, it's okay. I mean, you will get that 50,000 yen refunded to you. And in terms of facilities in the room, you have the minimum air conditioning, and you have a wardrobe, you have desks for study, and all the utilities that you need to live. And yeah, that's as a summary. Give me 1 second to show you. If you want to see, 1 second. Let me check one thing. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, and so let's stop. You can take the control again.
Okay. Okay. Is there any other presentation about pricing?
No, for prices,
okay.
That's it. That's the main prices that they need to know about it at the moment. Then of the extra courses, the price depends on what they want at the end. So what exactly support they need. For example, if they want interview support only, the price will be cheaper than if they want the full job hunting support. So that's a lot of variables. So it's better to have a specific. If, for example, if one student wants to come, okay, I want to go to university and I want to take the AG preparation course while I'm taking the 1 year or 2 years course, how much is going to, then at the moment we can make a study plan and then tell the student exactly what is going to be costing.
Okay. And the other questions about job hunting process, I guess, can students start job hunting or conduct internship activities while studying in Japan?
So if they can start job hunting, okay. So yes. First, actually, if they want to actually finish the course and work directly and find a job, they need to start the job hunting actually before ending the course. Also, and I think that's gonna be asked, you can actually work part-time while you're studying Japanese, so while you're doing the Japanese course. Not on the first month. The first month you cannot work, but from the second month, and if you ask permission to the school, you can work up to 28 hours per week part-time. And during the holidays, the course holidays, you can work up to 40 hours per week. Part-time jobs can be different. I mean, depending on their background, specialty, they can be from working in a restaurant to working in assistants in a school, for example. So that which one they will be able to get will depend on what they want and their skills. But a simple part-time job is not difficult to get in Japan, and many of the students actually they get auto-financed through part-time job. So they don't use all the savings while they are in Japan. They can actually survive with part-time job if they manage well. Of course, the most important is that they need to attend more than 80% of the classes. So part-time cannot be a main. So the main is Japanese study, because this is why you get the student visa to come first to Japan. And then after that, the part-time job too. So we recommend mostly for the students to get part-time in the evenings or in the weekends, not never in the morning or afternoon, because they need to go to class.
Okay. By the way, can students travel outside of Japan during school breaks?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay.
Before it was a bit annoying because you needed to go to immigration and to ask a specific stamp and pay for it. But now the process is easier. I mean, I don't know yet exactly what is going to happen after Corona, because now Yeah, it's a little bit complicated. Just to give you all an idea, Japan will reopen gradually from March, but only for student visa holders. So the ones that are waiting from since 2 years ago, they will be able to start all entering gradually, little by little, because only 5,000 people would be allowed in every day. So it's not many. So, and the rules of how it's going to be after entering and that's not yet clear. So it's a little bit, yeah, but in a regular situation, it's possible without any issues. Of course, if they do that and still like Corona period, they need to be sure that when in the country they go, there is no quarantine or they can actually come back afterwards. So that's important. Another thing, it might be compulsory to be vaccinated to be able to come to Japan. So that's also an important information. So they are talking about that. So it's good to let everyone know that yeah, vaccination might be a must. Corona vaccination to come to Japan. But yeah, when the situation comes back to normal, I hope.
We all hope.
It's possible to, yeah, as long as it's not. I mean, you can be out of the country as long as you don't have any classes and you are not you don't miss any classes when you go during that trip.
Okay. Actually, when you give explanation about your course details, you mention some requirements about Japanese level. GPLT 5 is required for apply to this course. But do you have any level test for these Japanese requirements actually?
Okay, so the requirements are actually easy. So or they have the GLPT5 official exam passed. That's the easiest. So you show that diploma. That's it. You are eligible, or you need to show that you studied 150 hours of Japanese in an accredited institution. So it can be a language school in Turkey. That's not a problem. But it has to be a minimum of 150 hours, and you need to have a certificate for that. If they studied by themselves and they think they have enough level and they can accredit that, it's possible to do an interview and check their level and see if immigration will accept it or not. But the easiest to prove and everything is to have a diploma from a school of minimum 150 hours. It can be in Turkey or also online. For example, through the Genki school of our other brand, we have online courses. It can be taken, for example, if they take 150 hours of online lessons there, it's certified. It's because it's an accredited school also for student business. So yeah, I would recommend that's what the 150 hours course, or have the GLPT 5 diploma, which in Japan you can take it 2 times a year, but in Europe you need to take it it's only in December, the first Monday of December each year. And the registration is through the embassy, Japanese embassy.
Okay, I think our question is run out of.
Oh, that was not too complicated.
Yes, maybe we can wait for another question. By the way, do you want to add something about your school or the Japanese culture and the social life? For example, how was the weather in Japanese? And I know it's very late in Japan right now, so I don't want to take you so long here.
No, so okay, in case of weather, so basically Japan has the 4 seasons of the year. So it's and summer is hell, so I have to say it. So if you're not coming from a humid city or country, it's super hard because it's super humid, and it's not getting to 40 degrees. It's like 34, 35, 36 degrees, but with 80-90% of humidity. So you are like just standing, not doing anything, and you start sweating. So that's hard. So they need to be ready for it. And winter is not too bad. It's quite dry, but it's not like in Nagoya. It's not that bad. It's like 3 degrees, 2 degrees, and not really snow. For snow in Japan, you need to go to the north or to the mountain or the area of Kyoto. So in Nagoya, it's not that snowy. So it's not that, yeah, it's quite comfortable. And as I said in the presentation, the seasons I recommend to visit Japan, of course, they will experience that during the 1 year, but it's March, April, because the sakura blossom. That's super beautiful. So many, and yeah, it's so nice to just have a drink in a park under the tree, the cherry blossoms. And also in autumn with all the red colors, the different reds are there. Is they go actually from Nagoya is very close to Kyoto, and Kyoto in autumn is super beautiful. The mountains are spectacular, the temples in the mountains, the views. So it's only 35 minutes with actually this fast train. So it's a good season to experience Japan. Besides that, the life. Okay, Japan. How to say that? Okay, Japanese they have their rules. So they are very kind. They are very supportive, but you need to follow the rules. So in Europe or in Korea, we are like more. We have that warm blood, we're gonna say. So we are more noisy. We are more like, nah, the rules. But in Japan, you need to follow the rules. So if you follow the rules, you will not have any problem, and it's super safe. So it's one of the safest countries in the world. And actually, every time I go back from Japan to Europe, it's like the difference is always shocking me. I mean, so in Japan you feel so safe. Then when you get back to Europe, it's like you need to readapt, like your instincts, because, for example, talking about my country, Spain, if I go to a Starbucks and I'm only thinking to leave my laptop or mobile phone on the table and go to the toilet, in that moment of thinking, there's no more laptop or phone.
But it's in Japan,
like only thinking about it. But in Japan, you see many people leaving their laptops, and it's an iPad or MacBook, and they go to the toilet, they go back, and the laptop is there. Of course, I don't recommend to try it because you never know. But but it's like this. I saw it many times. It's super nice. You forget a good camera in the train, and then you go the next day to the lost items office, and they have it. This kind of things that make Japan very comfortable. Of course, yeah, you need to have some common sense, but in general, if you compare with other countries, super safe, super clean. I mean, everything is super clean. Even if you don't have like much rubbish cans in the street, nothing normally nothing on the street, and no garbage. So that's nice. It's very civilized, we're gonna say. Because, for example, in Spain or in many parts of Europe, you have the rubbish can empty, and around you have all the garbage. So that's how it works.
Actually, so, yeah. I'm admiring your life right now.
Yeah, it's a different world. I mean, you just need to know, if they follow the rules, they adapt to the culture, they will never have any problem. But it's just they are also very nice to students, because they are very happy that you're learning their language. So they will always try to show you the best of Japan and be super nice about it. They will be very kind and very warm, but with distance. So no hugs. So it doesn't mean that they don't like you or they are not kind. It's their culture. I mean, they would do like this. It's more distance. For example, one of my best friends in Japan, we know each other for more than 10 years, and I cannot hug him. If I hug him, like hey, long time no see you. He's like, oh my God, he's fucking me. It's not in my manual. It's like, so, and it's not like he's not nice or he's not warm. It's like, it's different. It's another culture. It's not like, so not touchy. So they also need to know that it's not like, hey, like we touch a lot. We like to touch. That's not in Japan. So they need to be careful with that.
Okay, it sounds great, by the way. And I think our question is run out of, as I said before. And I thank all of our attendees for listening to this webinar, and I so appreciate it for your effort at this hour at Japan. So thank you for your attending. And
My pleasure.
by the way, I need to say something in Turkish to our students right now. Arkadaşlar, katılımınız için çok teşekkür ederiz. Sorularınızı elimizden geldiğince yanıtlamaya çalıştık. Yine de bu konuda aklınıza takılan bir durum olursa bu gereklilikler konusunda, oradaki kurslar, orada belki de üniversite okumaya geçişi vesaire, bunlarla ilgili ekibimize ve bana her zaman ulaşabilirsiniz. Bunu kaçıran arkadaşlarımız illa olmuştur. Dediğim gibi yayının ardından en kısa zamanda YouTube hesabımıza yüklemiş olacağız. Hepinize katılımınız için çok teşekkür edip iyi akşamlar diliyorum. By the way, Oscar, thank you again, and I wish you a good night.
Thank you so much. Good evening to everyone, and thank you so much for joining.
Okay.
Arigatou gozaimashita.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.